Alright, let's do this. Now, have you ever been to a congregation or any Bible workshop and noticed that you just can't write good notes? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how I went from writing notes like this to writing notes insane like this. Hey, what up guys, my name is Jacky, watching onceuponachurch here today, where I'm going to show you Bible study tips so you guys can develop a strong relationship with God. If you're interested in learning more about the Bible and developing a strong relationship and join a community like this one, definitely click on the subscribe button and the notification buttons for awesome live streams I put out every week. Now, I've been a Christian for many years, and writing notes is one of the hardest things I've ever had come across when it comes to studying the Bible. And in this video, I like to talk to you my way of writing notes, how I write notes, and how I applied it to a lot of situations in my life, and how I use them even through like university. I use these tips to actually help me write really good notes. These tips may or may not work for everybody. We all have our own thing, but this has been working for me, and a lot of my friends use these tips as well. Not to say I do get A grades from college as well. Now, just to know me a bit better, when it comes to writing notes, I am the laziest person in the whole wide world. As a lazy person, you don't work hard, you learn to work smart. And if it works for you, you'll work consistently. So if these tips don't work for you, definitely write down in the comments below what kind of tips that you have so I can learn from you guys as well. I'm really curious. For me, I just use one pen and 2 highlighters. That's enough for me for stationary purposes. I also use my Bible study app, which makes it a lot easier to scroll through the Bible, especially when there's a lot of Bible passages to actually go through. So I'll be using all the resources that I have right now so I can show you guys how I do Bible study, make it a lot easier for you guys to understand this video. For Bible workshops, I tend to use the stuff that they give us. So usually they give us a little booklet, which I write a lot of notes in. I start a lot of things and just go through everything inside. I also have an extra worksheet, so I get more paper so I can write more stuff inside. But mainly I want to focus on this workshop that I attended recently, which is God's design for the family, which is about marriage and for future wives, what God intends us to do in the family. It's from Reverend Dwayne and Deanna Hunt, which are Americans from Oklahoma City. They are counselors for over 30 years, so this is a really good example to actually show you guys. Now, whenever a speaker starts to talk, it's really important to actually start listening the first bit, the introductory or the preface or the prologue of what the whole talk will be about. Usually when the speaker starts talking, it talks about the main concept of how he got to like this kind of idea in his head and what he's trying to teach you throughout the whole session. So this is providing you a strong framework, which is why you have to write down what this whole framework is going to lead you, where everything is going to provide you, where you're going to end up after the workshop. It'll give you a deeper understanding of what the author's point of view was from their experiences leading to their ideas can lead up to the workshop or the congregation or the Bible studying right up to this point. Now, if the speaker starts using Bible references, it's really important to note them down. And I use my highlighter to actually highlight everything. For me, I use a yellow color to highlight all the Bible verses from each book as well. Makes it a lot easier for me to actually read the specifics. Bible verses are the evidence that God is providing to us, to their experience, so it's really important to actually note these down. If they're clarifying something not to be confused of, definitely write those down. It's something that's really important and will influence on what you interpret, how you interpret what they're saying. Now, this would include definitions and also words in Latin or Hebrew. These are really common words that are used in Bible translations, and we need to know some of them to help us understand what they're telling us. And of course, we know our pastor just loves using Latin. I'll use the same highlighter to highlight those words, especially words such as agape, which means love. Now, if you have something that really confused off, definitely put a highlighter or maybe even a little star around that Bible verse or something that is confusing you, so then later on you can ask them again. It's good to think about what you are being told of instead of just blankly learning from someone.
Now, I usually grab a little red highlighter or something that red, significantly red. I use it as a red flag. What I do is I write down the things I don't understand. How does it work, like in this case? And I write the answer that I found out later on with a blue pen, so right next to it as well. So it's really easy to spot my questions.
Now every speaker is different, but they often tell you the little concept of interest that they're trying to bring out, and then usually they'll explain it through their experiences or through Bible references, and then they'll use an example of from their life or even from an analogy they can use. Last but not least, they might have a little conclusion of what they explain. So it makes it like a little abbreviation we can see as SEXC. That's sexy, right? Let's take a little break. Back to work.
For concepts, I give them a little title and I highlight them so it's easier for me to remember, such as here my blue and pink paper concept right there. Here it talks about a male being blue and a female pink piece of paper glued together in marriage. If you were to divorce, it would be like ripping these two pieces of paper in half and it'll never be the same again. No matter how many times you glue it, how hard you try, it will never be the same. And repercussions like children's ideal family will be affected. Here I highlight a keyword such as scar or repercussions, super important words. Sometimes speakers can actually ask you questions that can highlight a trigger into you. These are the type of questions that promote their ideology by getting you to think of a logical solution and what would Jesus say. I would either write them down on the side of the notes or in the corner like I did right here.
Also, any background information or any cultural references that need to be understood so you'll have a better understanding is very important. These are the things you have to write down to understand a lot of things that occur like thousands of years ago. Analogies and envisions are very important. A lot of times the speaker envisions a certain image in their heads, and it's really good to actually note down how they envision what their ideas are like. An example of what my pastor says about the Holy Spirit, he imagines the Holy Spirit like a person, like Jesus as a person himself. And when that person comes to the church, we have to be more inviting, we have to be more friendly and actually treat them how we want to be treated. Because if we don't do that, then they'll feel like it's a little bit weird coming to a church and nobody's greeting you and nobody's actually saying hi, or they don't want to even talk to you. Just feels weird, and it just makes them feel like they don't want to come to this church anymore. Same as the Holy Spirit. When we're trying to get the Holy Spirit, when he's coming to us, we have to be more inviting, we have to be more friendly, we have to show them respect, and in that way the Holy Spirit will feel more welcome to come into our hearts. Now I hope you guys enjoy these things that I just taught you. These are the things that gave me a framework of how I actually wrote a lot of notes down and actually understand the Bible and the workshop, the speakers a lot more better. And I think this will benefit you a lot. If you have more tips, definitely write them down in the comments below and give this video a like if you learned something. I really appreciate it if you guys actually like this video and actually just keep watching and just share around with your friends. Anyways, my name is Jacky and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye!